Okay, all right. First of all, just like to really thank our staff for a great job this past year. Appreciate our staff through the transition. We lost 3 of our coaches. They just did a wonderful job. A very hard-working, loyal staff. Just this morning they've got me on the phone with close to 50 juniors. So they're a hard-working group. The future's bright as far as recruiting goes. Just a couple highlights from this class that stood out to me. Our defensive line class, I really believe, is the best in the country. I really believe we're building the foundation, for a top 10 defense. So I'm really excited about that. Coach Garner did a wonderful job with that group and really deserves a lot of credit for a whole defensive class. You're talking about a guy that we lost 3 defensive, coaches about a month or so ago. He really held that thing together and deserves a lot of credit for our defensive class. Also, our wide receiver class, I think, is the top in the country, and it's guys that we went after over a year ago, and we handpicked. That's who we wanted, and we got them. Coach Craig and the offensive staff deserves a lot of credit. Did a wonderful job, with that group. I thought it was big that we signed the #1 player in the state of Georgia. I think it's the first time in school history we did that, and Georgia is very important to our success. Almost half our players are from the state of Georgia, and that'll give us great momentum for the future with that. We also signed what we believe is the top player in the state of Alabama, Marlon Davison, a guy that we identified well over a year ago, almost 2 years ago. We believe is an impact player. Florida is the 3rd state that we really hang our hat on, and Nate Craig is a guy that we identified as the top guy in that state, over 2 years ago. And so we feel very good about going after the guys that we, targeted, a long time ago, and we're excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and briefly talk just a little bit about each one of the guys that signed with us. First of all, the 9 early enrollees. John Broussard, from Phoenix City, a corner. We recruited him a long time. We really think he's got the ability to come in and give us some depth, right off the bat. I already talked about Marlon. We think he's an impact player. He's a big, athletic guy that can run, and we feel very good about him. Kyle Davis. Kyle Davis, is a big receiver. We really put an emphasis on this class on big guys that could run, that could do some things with the ball. After they catch it, we think he's got a chance to be a phenomenal player. John Franklin he's got great speed. We think he throws the ball well. He's familiar with our offense, so we're definitely excited about what he can do. Antoine Jackson, defensive line. We felt like he's one of the best defensive linemen in the country. Coach Garner recruited him extremely hard. It's been well over a year, almost 2 years that we recruited him. We think he's got a bright future, and he's a fine young man. Paul James, we needed some pass rushers. We really feel like he feels the need. He stayed loyal to us through the transition. All right, when we lost the coaches, there was about a week or so that other coaches came after him. He hung in there with us, and we really appreciate that. Malik Miller, running back, a guy that we recruited for almost 3 years. This guy's a true football player. He's got very good running skills. He catches the ball well. He protects. He does everything that we look for in a running back. Landon Rice, tight end. This is a guy that's been committed to us well over a year, almost 2 years. This is a guy that's been extremely loyal to us. I mean, one of the top tight ends in the entire country. Didn't take any other visits. He helped us recruit, and just a very loyal young man that we're excited about, and we think he can really help us next year. Trey Threet's a linebacker from Spanish Ford. I believe he's the only linebacker in this class. He's got the unique ability where he can play inside or out. So he's going to give Coach Steele and Coach Williams some flexibility, and he's a talented young man. Brodarius Ham, offensive lineman. I believe we only signed 2. He has the ability to play inside or play tackle. He's a big athletic guy, a very smart guy, and so we're excited about coaching big Brodarius. Woody Barrett, our quarterback, started recruiting Woody right when I got the head job here. Coach Lashley did a great job with him. We handpicked him. That he is a true dual threat quarterback. He can run it, he can throw it. He's got that leadership ability, and we really appreciate his loyalty too. A lot of big schools came after him, and he hung in there and was very loyal to us and really helped keep this class, especially offensively, together. Eli Stove is a guy that we've been recruiting for almost 2 years. I've got a wonderful family. We really feel like he's got a very unique skill set. We think he's got a chance to be an impact player. He can really do some things with the ball. Once he gets the ball in his hands, we think he's going to do a great job for us, and he'll have a chance to help us next year. Nick Cole on the defensive line. I think he's state champion wrestler a couple years. He has a chance this year. He is a very big athletic guy, and we're very excited about him. Marquise McLean is another big receiver, a guy that's 6'2", a little over 200 pounds. He has a 40-inch vertical, runs a 4.5. Came to camp and really stood out to us. We really feel good about him. Prince Salmons is a guy that Coach Hand, Herb Hand, was recruiting before at Penn State. He had made a visit here before as a defensive lineman. We really went hard the last month or so at offensive tackle. He is a guy that a lot of people wanted as a defensive end, and that tells you his physicality. So we're very excited about him playing offensive tackle for us. We think the sky is the limit for this young man, and we're very excited about him. Marlon Character. We really appreciate Marlon's loyalty to us. He stayed committed to us through the transition of us losing a defensive coordinator, and our secondary coach. And those guys kept recruiting him. And he hung in there with us. He stayed with us. He waited until we hired a defensive coordinator. We hired a secondary coach, and I really appreciate his loyalty to us. He's going to be a fantastic player. He's got a very good skill set. Tayshawn Manning is a young man that was diagnosed with cancer close to 3 months ago. He is a guy that we're very excited about in the future. We really feel like it'll be a Sean Coleman story all over again. He's a tough young man. After he signed his papers, said, "What are you going to do to celebrate?" And he went to go get chemo. And so if you would keep your thoughts and prayers with him and his family. He's got a great attitude, and we truly believe that he'll be with us in a short period of time. Daniel Thomas, a defensive back from Montgomery, is a guy that has been on our radar a long time, and we've known a lot about him. He has come over to games. We brought him on an official visit this past weekend, just fell in love with him and his family. He is a football player, and so we're very excited to have Daniel in the secondary. Nate Craig Myers is a guy, like I said earlier, we identified him 2 years ago. We really felt like he was one of the best overall players in the entire country. He's a big guy. He can go get the football. He's tough to tackle. He's got that competitive edge. He's got a great family. He's a wonderful person. And Coach Craig did a very good job recruiting him. And we're excited about him. He's got a chance to be an impact player for us. Javon Myers, a defensive back, is a guy that's long. He's very athletic. Coach McGriff is very excited about this guy. We think he'll have a chance to come in and compete for playing time. And, of course, lastly, Derek Brown, the #1 player in the state of Georgia. Been recruiting him for 2 years, probably a little over 2 years. Coach Garner did a wonderful job with him. He's got a wonderful family. He's a true impact player. We believe is one of the best players in the entire country. Got a chance to watch him in person play, and it was one of the more impressive performances that I've got a chance to watch at any position. So we're very excited about him. Overall, this is a very good class. The thing that really stands out to me is it's very talented, but these are high-character young men with great families. And so that's what we targeted. You heard me say a lot of times about we recruited this guy for 2 to 3 years. Developing those relationships over a long period of time, I think there's something really special that goes with that. And so I'm very excited. And I know every year I've been here, I've got up before you and said how excited I am, which I was. But this class is a little bit different. I mean, this class is a special class, and it's probably from the standpoint that there is true impact players, impact positions. Defensive line sets the tone for defense. Receivers, guys that can make plays, impact plays with that. So I'm real excited and real proud of our staff. And this class, I think that people will look back on in years to come.
Questions for Coach Malzahn?
As far as John Franklin goes, will he be
give it a chance to win the job?
Oh yeah, he's going to get a chance to win the job. Our quarterback position's wide open. He came in here wanting a chance to win the job. Woody Barrett will have a chance too. I mean, we're going to see who the best guy is, and we'll go from there.
Gus, you guys signed a lot of big receivers this year.
Yeah.
What kind of prompted that change? Why did you want to go that
Well, we just felt like we lost Ricardo, we lost Melvin Ray. I mean, those are big guys, and we just felt like we needed to get some big guys in this class, and so that was just something that Coach Lashley and Coach Craig and myself just really targeted. And the great thing is these guys, I mean, we started targeting them 1.5 to 2 years ago, and that's exactly who we went after. And we got each one of those guys we went after, and so, I think that really says a lot.
Second straight year that you made significant changes on coach staff on defense, and yet you've had 2 top 10 classes. What's that say just about Auburn in general?
Well, I mean, I think it says a lot because that's hard to do. When you lose a defensive coordinator and you lose a secondary coach, and we lost 3 defensive coaches, and but it says a lot about the rest of our staff. Like I said with Coach Garner, I mean, holding that defensive class together until we were able to get Coach Steele and Coach McGriff, Coach Williams, and Coach Williams did a great job too. I mean, he hit the ground running. He is going to be one of those bright up-and-coming guys. I'm very excited about Coach McGriff. Talking about a great personality, a great person, and he's a ball coach.
This is the most early enrollees you had. Is that something you guys pushed to players and suggested?
Yeah, every player is different, and each young man is different. But the early enrollees, it definitely helps you, and that's 9 that we had, more than we've ever had. I think you see a trend around college football. More and more want to come in and go through spring and compete, have a chance to play early. So we're excited about the 9 guys. They're off to a very good start. They've worked out with Coach Russell. And, they're looking forward to spring practice.
Did that benefit you in January with the other recruits being able to focus on other guys?
Anytime you've got 9 guys out of the way and you can just focus on the rest, I think it definitely helps. It takes a little bit of stress off as far as that goes.
With the wide receiver and defensive line classes in particular, Gus, how many of these guys do you view as potentially could make an impact immediately?
Well, I mean, the way we're recruiting, I mean, we hope all of them have a chance. I mean, we're going to give all these guys an opportunity to help. They're very talented, like we talked about. And, we're going to play the best out there. Coach Garner loves to play a lot of defensive linemen, which is great. Keep those guys fresh. Receiver-wise, we have very few guys on scholarship. We lost 4 seniors. So, these guys coming in, they'll have a chance to get in the mix right off the bat.
Can you walk us through the process with Daniel Thomas? He said he got the offer early this morning.
Yeah.
Kind of a late.
Yeah, he's a guy that we've known about for a long time. Even the old defensive staff when we were here was really on our radar, and he's a true football player. And so he came on an official visit this weekend, and we were very honest and upfront with him. And we just decided to make the call. We made the call really, really early this morning, and he was ready to go. And so he's got a wonderful family. I think they're very excited, and he's a football player. And so I'm excited to have him on our team.
You talked about size and the secondary. You got some guys that have some length that give you some options versatility-wise.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Coach McGriff's really looking for guys that have the length, the long arms that can run and all that. He feels very good about this secondary that he has coming in. He thinks these guys will at least be in the mix to have a chance to play.
How has John Frickman III just reacted to when he first got on campus and trying to meld with the team? And what do you expect out of all the quarterbacks once you get to practice field in spring?
Yeah, first of all, I think he's fit in very well. He's a very likable young man. I tell you the thing about our team is they're very welcoming. The guys that come in, they just embrace them. So I think he's very comfortable and fitting in very well. As far as our quarterbacks are concerned, I mean, I'm really looking forward to spring to let those guys compete. There's a lot of good options out there, and competition brings out the best in everybody. And so I think all those guys are ready to roll their sleeves up and get ready to work.
How hard is it to get 4 guys? Well, I guess that'd be involved before. But get 4 guys that much enough work.
Yeah, the spring is good. I mean, I think the spring, that's exactly, but once you get into fall, if you got 4 guys, that's not so good. We did that when Nick Marshall won the job, I guess in 2013, and I think we went about 2 weeks non-live, and then we felt like, hey, we had to put the ball down and go live, and it kind of cleared things up. But in the spring, I think that's good. I mean, we'll let these guys play, and I think it'll give us some good information before we get to fall camp.
Is it possible you can name a starter after spring, or do you want to wait?
Every year's different, and we'll just see how spring goes. I think we named Cam Newton the starter, I think 2 weeks after spring. That may have been the last one. So.
Gus mentioned, right, you talk about the possibilities of guys playing early. Tight ends, a place that you didn't have a catch out of that position last year. Talk about kind of what he brings to the table.
Yeah. Landon has got a chance to be a big-time player, we think. He's a very physical guy. He can catch the football. He's got that tough mentality. Jalen Harris is a guy, too, that we think is going to have a chance to be a heck of a player, too. So those two guys I'm really excited about to watch in spring.
How much of an impact did Herb have, not only in his recruitment, about 3 weeks from the time he got the job, but also going forward, Gus, because obviously his role with you in Tulsa was very much a co-coordinator deal. You have Red, you have Dane. How many guys going to be involved in the office going forward?
Yeah, Herb first of all is a very, very good recruiter, has a great reputation, and he's a very good teacher too. And he was very instrumental in Prince. He had a relationship already. We identified him about a month ago and recruited him hard. And Herb did a great job with him, and I know he's excited to coach him. And Brodarius, I'll just say this too. He did a good job developing a relationship in a short period of time with Brodarius too, and I know he's looking forward to playing for him too.
Cam Newton becoming like an international superstar now, do you find that it helps you guys recruiting at all, just the fact that he came here and everybody knows who he is?
It definitely helps. I mean, Cam Newton, every quarterback wants to be the next Cam Newton, and, he's doing pretty good right now, so I'd say that definitely helps.
Gus, has the era kind of changed in the sense that you're recruiting guys over a 3-year span now instead of before? You're just assuming the 4th year?
I think that's very important. Auburn's a special place, and it is truly about family. And when we're able to recruit young men and their families for an extended period of time, we got a very good chance. And, so you see this group, you kept hearing me say 2 years, 3 years, and so I think that's very important.
How much have you been focusing on juniors for how long? And as you mentioned about this morning, how long were those phone calls, for example? How much time out of your days that take?
Yeah, we've been thinking about the juniors for a long period of time. I mean, every year it seems like it gets more earlier and earlier. So, our staff's done a good job. Today was a really good day. Got me on the phone with close to 50, guys coming up, and I think that's a great thing. And I'm excited to coach recruit those guys. I know our coaches are too.
You mentioned losing those 4 receivers and bringing in the new coverage, a lot of 4 linebackers as well. Bring in 1. Why so few linebackers in this?
Yeah, we've got some young linebackers we feel very good about already, and Trey Threet right there we think will fit in good too. So we feel good about the young guys that we redshirted or played on special teams.
Take a few more.
Is there any one guy, that we've all mentioned all the names, but one guy that you really like that maybe it's under the radar a little bit? That doesn't get talked about?
Yeah, I think they just asked me that question. I mean, I said Eli Stove just off the top of my head. There's a lot of guys I think that Nick Cole is a guy that I think is going to be a phenomenal player that's probably a little under the radar. But, Eli Stove is a guy that, he's a top 100 receiver, but he kind of gets a little bit overlooked with the other guys, but he's a phenomenal player. We think he's going to have a chance to make an impact, and we think he'll make an impact early.
Have you made decisions on your support staff of replace Bentley and William, Kyle?
Not yet. What I was wanting to do is get through this recruiting class, and I'll really focus on that probably early next week. I'll have some more updates as far as that goes. I'd like to try to do that soon once we get back.
Can you quickly talk about the transition of Prince to offensive line and how he feels about it and how you're able to kind of sell him on that?
Yeah, we just said, hey, Prince, we need offensive tackle. We feel like your skill set will fit exactly what we're looking for. Would you be interested in doing that? And he said, hey, I'd be interested in doing anything. I just want to help a team. And so that's what we recruit him for. I know other teams recruit him at defensive end. And, he's a very good defensive end too, but he's got that physical mentality. He's very athletic. I think he's close to 280 pounds. I mean, he's going to be bigger, and so we're very excited about playing him at tackle, and we think the sky's the limit for him.
Damian had a pretty good day today. How excited was he in the war room, and how many outfits did he wear today?
How many what?
Outfits. How many wardrobe changes? Every time I saw him, he wore something different.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I was concentrating. He's got that GQ about him, you know. But he did a good job. I mean, I'm very proud of him. The job he did with these receivers, and you know, he worked extremely hard to develop those relationships over a long period of time. And I'll say this again. I mean, the guys we got is the guys we wanted 2 years ago. I mean, that's rare. Usually, you identify your top guys and then they kind of go, and you may get one of them, and then you got to go to the next guy. But those are the guys we wanted, and that's the exciting thing, you know, for me. But he did a great job, and our whole offensive staff did a good job. I mean, you know, we kind of team recruit, and we family recruit, and very proud of our staff. They worked extremely hard.
Gus, with all the coaching changes, and they had to just come here and just jump right into recruiting. Yeah. Is there some catching up to do as you start to get ready for spring practice?
You know, we've really focused on recruiting, and we usually do it this time, but now we can transition into our players and really get back to, you know, being around our players, getting ready for spring practice. Spring practice has moved up a little bit, and I think it's March 1st, so I'm excited to get on the field with those guys early. So we'll kind of flip the switch and really start focusing on spring, which is very exciting to me.
Is there a particular reason for moving up spring?
You know, the way the schedule fell is one reason, but I kind of like a little bit more time, you know, after spring ball as far as recruiting and everything goes with that.
Gus, you've had the past two signing classes have had 100% qualifiers.
Yeah.
Is that something you foresee happening for the third straight year?
Yes. Yeah, we feel pretty strong about that.
The academic red shirt has come back into play this year. The academic red shirt. Are you familiar with the academic red shirt?
Academic red shirt.
This new thing with the NCAA.
Yeah, you just talking about red shirt?
It's called an academic red shirt.
Okay, I feel like all our guys.
That you would use?
Yeah, I think all our guys will qualify.
All right, Coach.
Okay.
Thank you.